is the difference between being successful or failing? There was a study done all about this, and it came down to one solitary thing, and that one thing is creation. Why is it that only 5 out of 100 people are going to be financially successful in this country? If you don't see a problem in that, there's something wrong with you.
What is wrong with you?
Because that means there's going to be a lot of 65, 75, and 85-year-olds working into their retirement, and it is not because they want to. It's because they have to. Today, you gotta create the world you want. I'm Chris Naugle. This is What Now? What's Next? So when you think about the Social Security statistic that says that only 5 out of 100 people are going to be financially successful, and then I tell you that the only reason those 5 are financially successful is because they created something. There's 2 different sides. There's creation and conformity. So let's dissect the 2 of those, and then we're going to go right into this. Creation is you creating the life you want, creating the outcomes you desire, creating a world in the future that you want to live. Conformity is the opposite. Conformity is you following other people's failed dreams, other people's failed realities, other people's failed ideas. Which one do you want? It's easy to decide. You say, I want to create. So why do you conform? Why do you do the opposite of what you want? It's because other people come into your life, usually the people closest to you, friends, family, coworkers, whatever. They're the ones that tell you,
oh, that idea is silly. Oh, that's a scam. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, you shouldn't do this.
Have you ever really taken one step further? Why do they say it's a scam? Why do they say that won't work? Why do they say you shouldn't? A lot of times, folks, it's because they care. They care about you. And because they care about you, they want to instill in you their fear-driven life. They want to instill in you why they didn't chase their dreams, why they didn't go out there and try to achieve and create. I'm not saying there's something wrong with that. I'm just simply saying that's the world we live in. I know in my life, when I had crazy big ideas, everybody told me they were too big. My family members said,
why can't you just be normal? Why can't you just accept what you have?
Now, when they say that, you're thinking, yeah,
Why don't I just be content? Why don't I just sit back and just be happy? Oh, because we all should just be happy.
But then I think about it and I think, all the people that I've read about in the books and all the videos I've watched about some of the most successful people living, truly living their perfect day. The people doing the most for other people, the people giving the most to other people, the people changing other people's lives. They didn't say that. They didn't say, well, why can't I just be happy? I should just give up on my dreams and just conform to this normal life to appease my wife, my husband, my mom, my dad. They didn't say that. They said, time out. Step aside while I chase my dream, while I do the things that you were unwilling to do, while I go out there and blaze a path that nobody else has blazed, while I go out there and do the things others are unwilling to do. It's hard, folks. It's very difficult to put yourself in that position. And it's difficult when that position happens to you. The one thing I always tell people is I tell people you need to decide what you want your future to look like. And if you're not able to do that, then you got a lot of thinking to do. Because it's not just about your life. One of the most important things to understand is the 5th law of wealth. Give generously without conditions. Giving comes in a lot of different shapes and sizes. Giving can only happen if you create something to give. Giving is one of the most powerful things, and giving also involves solving other people's problems. If you just conform, how are you solving anyone's problem? You're just making them feel good. And you call that love, you call that whatever it is. You know what? Haters don't hate you because all you did is conform to what they failed at, what they think life should look like. And you know what? When you peel that onion a few times, usually your haters are the ones that have accomplished nothing. So when it comes down to the topic that I most like to talk about, and that's money, or becoming your own bank, of course it's a topic that a lot of people want to hate on because they don't understand it. But they think they know what they don't know. 73% of Americans say finances and money are their number 1 cause of stress. Number 1. How can we ignore that? How can we just say that there's nothing wrong in the world when it comes to money if 73% of Americans say that money is their number one cause of stress? So why is it that our knowledge about money is so broken? It's because the system is broken. It's old. It's been broken for a long time, but it's actually broken just for us. It's right for the institutions, it's right for the banks, and it's definitely right for the powers that be. But who should be right? Who should benefit? You or them? We the people or them? I say we the people need to benefit. But you can't benefit by plugging in and conforming to a failed, broken system. Wall Street, broken. Banking, broken. Let me prove it really quick. When you go to the bank and you deposit money in the bank, does the bank pay you a fair interest rate to hold and use your money? I mean, right now, right? Interest rates are going up. The Fed has vowed to raise interest rates 7 times. The next interest rate hike in 2022, where we're at now, is the 5th, and it might go up 75 basis points or 0.75%. Does that mean that your savings account and your checking account are going to pay you 0.75% more? What? You're probably thinking, Chris, what world are you living in? Of course not. Because when they raise interest rates, everything that you borrow money for gets more expensive. The credit card companies typically increase it, your lines of credit go up, your mortgage rates go up, your car loans go up, but yet your money doesn't earn anything more. What does that tell you? It tells you the system's broken, and it very much is. The banks don't need your money, and they don't need to lend you money. The 50s and 60s, banks operated in a way where when you made your deposits, you got paid a fair or equitable interest rate on your money. The banks then would lend your money out and make the spread. And that's how banks made money. And that's how you think banks make money. But today it doesn't work that way. The banks don't want your money. They don't need your money because the Fed prints the money through the Treasury and then goes to the central banking system and they say,
Hey guys, we got to slow inflation down, so all those loans that you normally would make and all those deposits that you try to entice people to give you, you don't need them anymore. Just give us your money. We'll pay you an interest rate on it. Therefore, we can control everyone.
It's time for you to take back control of your money. And taking back control of your money involves one change. I swear it is that simple. The wealthiest families in history have done one thing different than you're doing now. They've changed where their money goes first because they understood they need to be in control of their money. In the old days and even in today's world, it's called privatized banking, but you probably have never heard about it because the people you get your advice from are working for the man. Why would they want you to go private with your money? They wouldn't, so they won't tell you about it. Privatized banking is not new. It's been used by all the wealthiest families. It's been reserved for the wealthy. If it's the number one place that banks put their tier 1 capital, then why are the banks not saying, hey, let me show you where we put our safe money? That one change that you would make, that's where your money goes. You know where that is? Changing where your money goes so that you're in control, so that your money earns a guaranteed interest rate contractually, so that your money can earn a dividend every single year, so that your money can be in an environment that is tax-free if created properly, so your money can be protected against judgments and creditors should you ever get sued, and so that your money someday when you're no longer here can be leveraged up and can give your beneficiaries, your family or whoever is your beneficiary, a big upside so they can live a better life like the Rockefellers do in their Rockefeller family banking system. You know, all this sounds really good. You know what that place is? This is where I'm gonna really slap you in the face. It's a specially designed and engineered whole life insurance policy from a mutually owned company that pays dividends. There, I said it. Now you are thinking, you idiot. Who told you that's a good place to put your money? Because Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman said that's the worst place you can put your money. And I've always heard that's just an overpriced, expensive life insurance plan. You're right. You're absolutely right. Do you think the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, the JP Morgans of the world, and the banks of the world, do you think they're buying the same whole life that you are buying from your broke-ass brother-in-law? Are you really dumb enough to think that there's only one type of way that you can design and engineer a whole life? Because, hey, you must live in a world where you think that a Ford Focus is one model. You go into the Ford dealership, they've only got one model of the Ford Focus and nothing can change on it. It's slow, it's cheap, and it's boring, right? That's all a Ford Focus is. But then you're home and you're watching YouTube like you are right now, and you see this car going 130 miles an hour sideways around a turn. And you look at the front and it says Ford, and you see on the back it says focus. And the driver is a guy named Ken Block. And you start to say, wow, that car must have been designed and engineered to do that because the one I saw at the dealership didn't. Did you ever think that a whole life contract could be designed and engineered to do something completely different than what everybody thinks it's designed for? You gotta wake up. You gotta start understanding that it isn't the things that you don't know that get you hurt, it's the things that you think you know that just aren't so. Who are you getting your advice from? Someone that's selling you something? Someone that's trying to benefit from you? Wall Street? At the advisors like I used to be? Do they benefit by giving up 90% of their income so that you have 90% more money? No. But that's what it takes to design and engineer a whole life to do what I'm saying. A 60 to 90% reduction in the commission. That's right. So why haven't you heard about this? Well, you haven't found somebody that understands the fifth law of wealth, and that is you must give generously without conditions. What is the give? The give is 60 to 90% of their income. What is the get? Your client, the person who you are solely supposed to be solving problems for, has 60 to 90% more money to use immediately. Folks, this isn't new. This has been around a long time. The biggest problem is you don't know about it, or you think you know what you don't know about this. And also, if you're going to be the bank, which is everything we're talking about, taking back control, it's not just about where your money goes first, it's about what you do with it next. If you owned your own bank, and would you make deposits in your bank? Of course you would. You wouldn't go down the street and put deposits in their bank, would you? No, you'd put it in your bank. And if you owned your own bank and you needed a car loan, where would you go? What bank would you go to for that car loan? You'd go to your bank, wouldn't you? And you'd borrow money and you'd take a loan from your bank, not somebody else's. And if you took a loan from your bank, would you pay your bank back the same way you pay their bank back? Would you make monthly payments back to your bank for the same amount you would pay their bank? Whether or not it's less or more, it doesn't matter. You would make payments back because you would never steal from your bank, would you? The answer is yes to that. Stop watching this, because nothing in your life will ever change. You will be broke the rest of your life. You will live in financial slavery the rest of your life. I'm sorry to give you that news, but you don't steal from yourself, which means you don't steal from your own bank that you created. And if the answer was yes to all of those, guess what? You have just learned what the wealthiest families in history know. And because you learned that, here's what you get to do. You get to do all the things a bank does. You get to put money in your bank. You get to take money from your bank. You get to earn a spread on your money for the rest of your life, and you don't have to work harder, work longer, or take on any additional risk to do that. All you did was change one thing, and that was where your money went. And then secondarily, you treated your money the same way you treat the bank's money. Your money goes in a circle. Starts in your bank, goes out there to work for you, buying cars, doing investments, buying real estate, lending on real estate, and then whatever that activity, that opportunity earns you, the interest, dividends, or profits you earn from that activity of your money working for you, are you going to take that interest, dividend, or profit and put it in someone else's bank now that you created your own bank? Hell no. You're going to take that money and you're going to take it around the bottom part of the circle, put it right back in your bank where it belongs, where you're fully in control of it, where your money never stops earning uninterrupted compound interest, and you, for the rest of your life, can be in control of your money. Am I making sense? Because if I'm not, check this video out. Because this video right here will teach you exactly how this works, how the wealthiest families in history have done this. So click that video and watch that. And while you're at it, subscribe to this channel. There's a lot more good stuff coming. I'm Chris Naugle. Thanks for joining me for another episode of What Now? What's Next?